I'm Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I've got a video today, 6 tips on how to prep for a stress-free NaNoWriMo. That's right, a stress-free NaNoWriMo. If you are interested in that, keep watching. Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a full-time writing instructor and a part-time content creator and indie author, and I normally do 45-minute long-ish cozy vlogs, cozy writing, reading related vlogs. Every now and then I try to put up a more informational, educational video like this. So this is going to go up as one of my Friday bonus videos. I am already noticing a ton of Preptober content starting to pop up as I am filming this. It is October 5th. So yeah, Preptober is well underway here on YouTube and on Instagram and other places, I'm sure. I know I'm getting a ton of emails from the NaNoWriMo website and organizers, so it is all systems go for Nano. But I know here within my own community, there are a lot of us who are a little nervous and apprehensive about Nano and just not quite ready for the stress that it seems to bring. I have adopted a different approach to Nano earlier this year during April camp and July camp Nano, and I plan on carrying that through into NaNoWriMo, the main event next month in November. So I was thinking this morning on my walk, what are some things that I can do to help me prep for a stress-free Nano? November is going to be really busy for me. I'm launching my next book, my 7th novel, which is really exciting. Hopefully that will launch in November. So this month during Preptober, I'm doing a lot of prep for finishing up that book. In November, I'm going to be doing a lot of prep for the actual launch. So Nano's not going to be my main focus, and I don't want it to stress me out. Even if it was my main focus, I don't want it to stress me out. So if you're someone who's been on the fence about whether to participate in Nano this year or not, if you're someone who likes the idea of Nano but just kind of finds the whole thing a bit overwhelming, I'm hoping these tips will help you feel a little bit more comfortable and a little less overwhelmed and more willing to want to participate. So tip 0, the kind of before we even get into the actual tips, I think it's important for people to know and understand and feel comfortable with the idea that it's okay to opt out. It's okay to not even participate officially in Nano, to maybe participate unofficially by still working on a project and sharing your progress and communicating, interacting with people online who are participating in Nano and feeling like you're part of that community environment without actually officially being engaged in the website. Like, you can opt out. Just because everybody else in the world seems to be doing Nano doesn't mean you have to do Nano. We all have years where it just doesn't seem like it's going to work, and that's okay. Some people have also realized Nano just isn't their thing. It's too much pressure. Even when you do try to adopt some stress-free tactics, it's just never going to feel completely stress-free. In that case, it's definitely okay to opt out. Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to do Nano, or somehow you're not a good writer or you're not a committed writer or something like that. I thankfully haven't seen anyone talking in that way, but just if you do see anyone on YouTube or anywhere else making it seem like all writers should participate in Nano, don't listen to them. So tip 0, you can opt out. If you choose to opt in, I think it's important to know your limits. Know what you are capable of and what you're not capable of, particularly in whatever season of life you are in. Last year, I felt like that was the year I was going to truly go for it and try to win camp and do the best that I possibly could. I felt like that was something that was possible. This year, I know it's not possible. 50K is not possible. I know my limits. I know what I can do. I'm not even going to try for it. So know your limits. I think when it comes to the organizers of Nano and the founders of Nano, I don't think any of them would want people participating in Nano if it's going to cause them stress, if it's going to make them feel overwhelmed, if they're not going to have fun. I don't think anyone who's in charge of Nano or in charge of any of the regional groups would advocate for someone participating in Nano if it's just going to lead to such a case of burnout that you then don't write for the next 2 or 3 or 4 months or more, which was definitely the case for me last November. November was great and I made a lot of progress and it was fun, but then December rolled around and I was just done. But the book wasn't, because I don't write 50,000 word novels. I write 100,000 word novels at a minimum. So with all the work I did in Nano, and I did exceed the 50K goal, I was still only about 60% of the way towards the end of that book. But then it took me a few more months to be able to finish it because I was just too tired after November and didn't want to write. So know your limits and don't push yourself beyond those limits. Tip 2, prioritize self-care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health, both in November but also starting now in October. I feel like a lot of people run the risk of burning out before Nano even starts because there's so much Preptober content to consume. There's so much advice for what to do during October as part of Preptober, and you could very easily run yourself into the ground before November 1st even rolls around. So starting now, figure out what you need to do to take care of yourself. How much time can you allocate towards your Nano project, both this month during Preptober as well as next month during Nano itself. Start gathering all the things that will make writing a little bit more fun or more comfortable. Make sure that all your coziest, clothes, like I love my published author sweatshirt. Make sure these things are like clean and fresh and ready for you to wear. Gather up your cozy socks and your cozy blankets, and make sure you've got your favorite mugs picked out. Make sure you're stocked in all of your favorite teas or coffees or hot chocolate, like whatever your writing beverage of choice is. Gather up your writing snacks. Start making your shopping list if there's things you need to buy or just things you want to kind of scavenge for and gather from around your home. Make sure that you are prioritizing time to go out for walks or exercise in your home, depending on what your weather is like. I'm very lucky living here in Southern Arizona. October is when the weather is finally getting nice and I can step away from my desk and get outside and go for a walk, and it's lovely. It's amazing. But make sure that you're getting things ready and you're starting to set some of those habits in place to not be constantly at your writing desk, and that you're doing things to kind of take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. Start putting together the things that will make your writing space feel more comfortable and like somewhere that you want to be. If you like having a candle while you write, pick the candle you're going to use. I have a lot of battery operated candles and fairy lights, which help create some extra ambiance around my office. Get your music playlists or your video playlists in order so that those are ready to go. Clean up your desk if that's something you need to do. My main desk is fine. This desk back here definitely needs to be cleaned up before November gets here. So yeah, prioritize self-care both now and in November so that you are in good shape physically and mentally and feel physically and mentally ready to write. Tip 3, set a realistic goal. I think this is the number one tip, like the biggest, most important tip for having a stress-free Nano. 50K, I managed it last year, but was that really a realistic goal? Probably not. November, even when I'm not launching a new book, is always a busy month for me. I'm a full-time writing instructor at a university. November is the last month of the semester, so there's a ton of final grading. There's a lot of grading throughout the month, but then at the end of the month, there's a ton of grading. My family does Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving here in the US is in November. So if you celebrate that, family holidays, definitely throw a wrench in your writing plans. I still managed to write and hit par on Thanksgiving last year. I do not intend to do that this year. I'm not going to work on my project at all on Thanksgiving this year. Maybe not even on Friday either. Maybe I'll do a little bit of writing over that weekend, but not a lot. So set a realistic goal, and here's the extra bit to this tip. Even if it means being a rebel, I think we need to learn how to embrace the idea of being a Nano rebel. The term exists for a reason, because clearly organizers know not everyone can aim for 50K, but this is their way. I wish, this is the thing, the feedback I would give them, I do wish that in your official stats, they didn't lock you into 50K. I wish that you could declare yourself officially a rebel and set your own goal, but still be participating in the Nano event. So you could either affiliate with the Nano event and just know you're not gonna hit 50K. You could create a separate project that's not affiliated with the Nano event, so you're still tracking stats according to the goal that you set, or you can just not register with Nano. That's okay too. But set a realistic goal and be okay with being a rebel. So I've said this before in my Preptober video, my Preptober vlog, that I am definitely going to be a rebel. I'm aiming for around 25 to 30K this month. I will have an official Nano project that's locked in at 50K, but I just know I'm not going to get near that, and that's okay. It's okay to be a rebel, and I think we need to advocate for that a little bit more and not talk about Nano in a way that makes people feel like if they can't aim for 50K that then why even bother? Like, it's still okay to be part of the Nano community and still be participating on the website, even if you know you're not going to hit 50K. So this is going to be the place to hang out if you don't want to hit 50K, if you want to be a Nano rebel. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed. All of the NaNoWriMo vlogs throughout the month of November are going to have a very strong rebel focus where we're not aiming for 50K, we're not aiming for par each day. I'm just going to be writing as much as I can write, probably around 500 words a day, no more than 1,000, unless I'm feeling really good, which will happen some days. But yeah, setting a realistic goal, really, really, really important. Number 4, this is also important. I think setting a realistic goal is the most important, but second to that, I think it's important to be excited about your project, and I think this is something that often gets overlooked. If as you're working on setting up your project during Preptober, you're just not feeling that excited about it, you might want to pick a different project for Nano. You should be excited about your project. It should be something that you just cannot stop thinking about. My project for Nano is not going to be the next thing I'm writing. It's a completely separate project. It's not currently on my publishing calendar or my publishing plans. I currently self-publish romance novels. This is going to be a fantasy novel that I'm hoping to one day get traditionally published. I'm not even writing the draft. I'm working on the series outline and description and synopsis. But that is what I am excited about. That is a project that I think this is how I want to spend November, even though it doesn't really make sense within my larger publishing plans. This is what excites me right now. This is what I have been putting off and putting off and putting off and like setting to the side because of all my other projects, and so I haven't been working on it, despite the fact that the printed copy of the first draft of this series is sitting in a binder on my desk within arm's reach. Like, I have been wanting to work on this and other things have just felt more important. So because I'm at a place where I don't really need to be writing the next romance novel that I'm publishing, I'm kind of resurrecting this fantasy project and starting to work on that again. So I'm super excited about my project, and I know that that's going to be a huge thing that helps me get through the days in Nano where maybe I am feeling more tired. It gives me something excited and something to look forward to about my Nano project, rather than feeling like my Nano project is something I just have to get through for the day. The 5th tip is focus on or follow your joy. This has been a huge focus for me throughout the camps this year, both in April, but especially in July. My main goal for both has been to have fun, to just have fun. If I met my goal, that was great, but the most important thing was to have fun. And especially in July, I had a firm rule that if I wasn't enjoying my writing that day, I stopped. Just full stop, done for the day. I only let myself write if I was enjoying it. And so I think that's a huge part of having a stress-free Nano. No one should be participating in Nano because they feel like they have to, or because they feel like they are bad somehow if they don't write one day. Nano, first and foremost to me, should be about community, a community of writers enjoying the thing they love the most, which is writing, or one of the things that we love the most. If you're not enjoying it and if you're not having fun, then it's okay to quit Nano. You know, if you start participating in Nano and 2 weeks in, you're like, this really isn't fun, stop. There's no shame in that. But I do think when you can start the month with a conscious and intentional decision to follow the joy and have fun, it sets a different tone for the entire month. So follow your joy, focus on having fun. That alone just makes a huge difference. The sixth and final tip of this video is choose your buddies. I put that in air quotes, but choose your buddies wisely. And by buddies, I mean friends you communicate with in real life who might be participating in Nano, online friends who are participating in Nano, like people that you know really well online, but I'm also including content creators and influencers and writer tubers and author tubers, what YouTube channels, what Instagram accounts you're following, Twitter groups you're in on the Nano website if you're participating in forums. Make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who are encouraging a stress-free Nano experience, people who are encouraging you to be a rebel, to set your own goals, to go at your own pace, who aren't creating a very competitive or comparison-focused environment. If everyone you are following during Nano is turning it into a competition and is making you feel like you have to be achieving certain word goals every day, or you're slacking or falling behind or something like that, it's not going to be a fun experience. So there might be some people who you really enjoy talking to about writing who just get a little bit weird during Nano. It's okay to just not really talk to them as much during November. It's okay to cheer them on, but maybe not share all of your progress with them or your perceived lack of progress with them. It's okay to not watch every content creator's YouTube video and Nano vlogs. If watching their vlogs and seeing them make progress makes you feel bad about the progress you're making, it's okay to not watch them or not follow, to put them on mute on Instagram, for example. Hopefully that won't be the case with me. I'm hoping that people will still want to watch my Nano vlogs because I am going to be focusing on having fun and less so on the stats. So I will be sharing how much I get written and when I have a good day versus when I have a just only got 500 words, but I'm really happy about that kind of day. I want the main focus of my Nano vlogs though to be about the joy that I'm having and the fun things that are coming up as I'm working on this project and the interesting things I'm noticing as I'm kind of shifting or bouncing between my romance novel that I'm getting ready to publish and this fantasy novel that I haven't worked in quite a few years. So yeah, it's going to be a different focus here on Nano. So find other channels, hopefully like this one, who are running their own race, doing their own thing, not creating or fostering a competitive environment that adds to your stress during Nano. These are just random things that came up while I was on my morning walk. I hope some of this has helped. I really want people who want to participate in Nano to participate in Nano and not feel like they have to opt out because it's either go full on pedal to the metal, go for broke kind of approach, or not do anything at all. I really want to be someone in this community who is championing an idea or an approach of do your own thing, run your own race. You're only competing against yourself if you're competing at all. That this really should be about the fun of writing and the joy of writing and the magic of writing. Having an approach that encourages creativity and enjoyment and fulfillment rather than comparison and lack and failure, which I feel like it'd be very easy to fall into that trap. So if a stress-free nano approach and stress-free nano conversations sounds like your thing, definitely subscribe so you don't miss all of my upcoming Preptober and Nano content. Anything I do in these videos related to Preptober and NaNoWriMo is going to be coming from a place of no stress, just enjoyment and fun and joy of writing, and all of us doing our own thing at our own pace and supporting and encouraging each other in our own unique individual goals. I also would love this to be a place where if you are choosing not to participate in Nano officially, but you're still working on a writing project in November and now in October, you know, this is always a place where you can share with me and others in the comment section what you're working on, what progress you're making, even if you're not tying it officially to the Nano event. So this is a safe space and a stress-free zone to talk about writing and the things that we're dealing with, the questions that come up, the problems we might be having, the successes and wins that we are enjoying each month. So yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I hope this wasn't too rambly and all over the place, but again, just random thoughts that I felt like I really wanted to get out. I'm going to try to do more videos related to Preptober and writing and getting started and ready for Nano on Fridays throughout this month, if I can, without it being too overwhelming. Otherwise, I'll be putting stuff into the vlogs on Mondays and Wednesdays. But yeah, I just wanted to get this video up as soon as I could, just to help people start feeling like if you have been thinking about doing Nano, do it. Join me, join us, have fun, and don't let maybe some other content that's starting to float around on the internet. I haven't seen anything specifically, but I would imagine it's out there. I don't follow a ton of other writing and author related channels, but I am sure there are some who are really leaning hard into the let's win and conquer NaNoWriMo. I don't want anyone to get overwhelmed by that, so we're doing things a little bit differently over here. We're taking a softer and gentler approach over here. So I hope that if that sounds good to you, that you will join us and have fun. So definitely make sure you are subscribed if you are not subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and found it helpful. All of those things help in the algorithm or something like that. Let me know where your thoughts are on Nano. Are you doing it? Are you not doing it? Are you opting out of Nano officially but still going to be writing something in November? Are you participating but being a rebel like me? I'd love to know your Nano and Preptober plans. If you have done Nano and have additional tips for how to have a stress-free Nano, please put those in the comments. I think we all would appreciate that. And yeah, I'm gonna stop now and go get back to the rest of my day, but I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye!